Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool pinball repair video for you this evening. We have been working on this Bally Knight Rider finally, after all these years. We've had this thing sitting in our showroom for a while, and we decided to finally fix it up, get it playing well, looking good, and we'll be selling it. So we have been working through it. We filmed several videos of it you should go check out. If you haven't already here on our channel, they're up. We upload them in order. And we never start uploading them until we're already finished, pretty much. Well, we want to make sure that we're going to be able to finish before we upload them, because we hate uploading videos and then you don't get to see the end of it. So if you're seeing this one, be assured you will see the thing playing. You're actually going to see it playing in this video because we're going to test it. So what I did was, we did a video where we showed the condition that the thing was in, which is in pretty decent shape, really. And then we worked in the bottom of the cabinet, cleaned that all up, cleaned all of the stepper units, the switches, the relays, all of that stuff, the Jones plugs. And you kind of have to do that to get the thing reliable. So we've done that, and then we worked in the back box, cleaned up everything back there. We sealed and then painted the back glass. It had some flaking issues that have been rectified. Go back and watch that video if you haven't. That was really cool. I always show him because it's the worst, but she looks pretty good. Hers isn't as bad, but it's still, you know, we like it. Very cool. Let's go back and check out that video if you haven't. And we are now going to play it. I've already actually reset the game because I wanted to see if my pop bumper lights were lighting up. And they are lighting up. But I think there may still be a problem with the lights. So we're going to turn it off and then back on. So we were just in gameplay. It's now game over. That's what we wanted. Okay, so that's working properly. And the lights are out. The reason for that is because there is a, I can't remember which coil it is, but basically the pop bumper lights only light up during gameplay so that it doesn't put undue stress on the pop bumper caps that get burnt all to crap on these. So at some point in the 70s, Bally changed that around to where they turn off whenever it's just sitting there, and they don't turn on until you actually play a game. So that is working properly. Okay, so we're going to start it again. I don't have the chimes in it yet. They're over here. We've had a bunch of people complaining in the past. Oh, God, it's making too many chime noises. I can't hardly watch. So this one's for the whiners, right? we haven't rebuilt the chimes yet. We'll do that later and put them in the cabinet. So we're going to be scoring a lot, but it's not actually going to chime yet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the game, and then we'll test some stuff and see if it's scoring right. If it's not, we'll check it out in the schematics and figure out how to fix whatever's acting up. This may be the first one, though, that nothing's wrong. What do you think? Maybe nothing's going to be wrong. I did see the lights flicker earlier, though, so I think we've still got a bad connection on the lights, so we'll see. So I'm going to hit start. Okay, everything reset. We don't have a ball in it, but I'll have to go get one, actually. We're not going to be able to test it without it. The pop bumper lights came on. Only two of them are on, though, but I saw them bounce back and forth up here, so I think they're supposed to be like that, where two light and one doesn't, because it says 100 when lit. Now this one, I don't know why it says 100 when lit, because it seems to always be lit, but maybe it isn't. Okay, so let's imagine the ball popped out. It comes up through here. I'm going to have a ball. That might bite me. You think it'll bite me? So it says 5,000 points and advanced bonus. Okay, so our bonus is at 1,000. We're at 0 points. Here we go. I'm going to try not to get bit. We got our 5,000 points, and it advanced the bonus, but it didn't light it up. Let's write that down. Now, we have this pad of paper here. Mr. Mingus brings us these. Mingus Printing Company is down the road in Gastonia. They print all kinds of paper stuff, so he always brings us his old paper that he doesn't need. We'll use it for scratch pads. All the people in Europe really like him. Okay, so the 2000 light. Now people, I'm left-handed, okay? So because I'm left-handed, you have this weird thing where when you're writing from the left to the right, it's hard to do because nothing's holding the paper down. And I'm a heavy writer, right? So don't complain to me that you can't read my handwriting. I can read it just fine. So there must be something wrong with you. Okay, the 2000 light doesn't seem to be working. All right. Something over here. Gives us 10 points. So let's see if that rolls over. It does. Just how we like it. That one as well. Here's a little stand-up target. I have no clue what it does. Gives you 100. So let's see if that rolls over. It does. Okay, so up here, 5,000, 1,000, 50, 3,000. The 50 light's out. Two of them are out. That one's out. We got some problems with that still. Okay, so that 50 light never lights up. Top 50 never lights, and that stepper sticks. You'll be all right, people. Don't worry about it. Okay, so let's go. And that's giving us 100 each time. Okay, so that's lit at 50 now. Let's see if we get 50 points. We do. Okay, let's change it. Now we're at 3,000. Okay, that's right. Now I think we're at 50 again. Yep, that's the one that wasn't lit. That's 1,000. Okay, so it scores correctly. It just doesn't light up quite right. We got to mess with that a little bit. Okay, so let's see if these are right. So this one's not lit. And you get 10 points. That also makes the top hole thing move, okay? The lit one's giving us 100. The other lit one's giving us 100. So every time you get 100 and you get 10, it seems like it moves that thing. Oh, each time I scored that as well, it advanced the bonus. We're up to 6,000. So I haven't been watching that quite right. This says 100 when lit, but it's not lit. Seems right. This one says 100 when lit, and it is lit. All right, that all seems proper. Okay, here's another stand-up. Let's see if it moves that. Yep, 100 points, and it's moving that around. Okay. All righty. Advanced bonus when lit, but it says 50. Oh, I guess 50 when lit as well. We're getting 10 points. Okay. Advanced bonus when lit. It's not. We're getting 10 points. Extra ball when lit. It's not. We're getting 1,000 points. Extra ball when lit. We're getting 1,000 points. And it did roll over. It says advanced bonus when lit. We're at 6,000. 7,000. Oh, it's not lit anymore. Okay. 7,000. So this one. Now it's advancing the bonus as it should. Okay, that wig-wagged the lights. So now this one's 100 when lit. Should be 10 now. It is. This one's 100 when lit. Should be 100 now. It is. We're up to 9,000 points on our bonus. This now says 50 and advanced bonus when lit. Okay. It got us up to 10,000. That's cool. Looking pretty good, people. Our kickers give us 10 points and kick. 10 points and kick. Okay, now we got to mess with the drop targets. It says all targets down score 3,000 and special when lit. All targets down 3,000 and special when lit. Okay, so one target, 50 points. Another target, 50 points. Another target, 50 points. Another target, 50 points. So all targets down score 3,000 and special when lit. Okay, it's not lit though, so that makes sense. This has been advancing with each drop target. So it's up to 5,000. The 2,000 never lit up. So let's try this side. 50 points. 50 points. 50 points. Oh, you know what? 15. You may not know this if you haven't messed with them. 15's as high as it'll go. I know that doesn't sound right, but I'll prove it to you. 21.9. Okay, so we're about to do the last drop target, which will make them all reset. Let's see what it does points wise. 21.9, and we went to 27.9, probably because it gave us 3,000 for each side. Does that sound right? I can't do instant replay, people. You're going to have to check for me. I'll wait. Okay, that must have been what happened. We'll check that. Why don't we write that down and we'll check it. Targets all down. Scored 6,000, it seems like. Okay, so now it says extra ball when lit. Okay. Same player shoots again. That seems to have worked. All right. All targets down scores 3,000 and special when lit. The special is usually and special when lit. The special is usually a free game. 50, I think. That one didn't do it. Okay, so that time I just got the 5 down and it reset on its own. Oh, I guess we should check the flippers. Okay, so it seems like you get 6,000 when you get them all down at first, but you have to get them all down to get it. But then once you get this lit, you can just do each side for 3,000, which I guess is better. Because before that, you could get all of these down and not get 3,000 because you hadn't knocked all those down. So if you get all these down and then all those down, you get 6,000. But if you get all these down and then your ball, you lose the ball, you don't get the 3,000. So I think that's right. This one a second ago didn't score. Yep, that one's tripping. That one's tripping, people. It must be stuck. Now what happens if I hit the bumper behind it now? 10 points. Okay. So are we getting the special? Might not be getting the special. So that's right. Special when lit. Okay, so that's about it. Now what we need to do is see if the bonus scores and if it correctly goes through the 5 balls or 3 balls, whatever it's set on. And if you get your same player shoots again. So the ball count, basically. So let me go get a nice new shiny pinball for our nice clean, heavily waxed playfield. Okay, so you can see ball 1 there. Might need to slope the legs a little bit better, people. This is the greatest game of all time. All right, let's see if it goes the same player shoots again. I forgot to check if that gave us the correct bonus. We'll do it next time. Okay, same player shoots again, so we're still on ball 1. Okay, that was because the arrow wasn't lit up at the top, and it didn't know what to do. So we're at 6,000 bonus. It's a double bonus is lit. 7,000 bonus. 8,000. Pizza's done. That's the over the top buzzer. We got over 100,000 points, so it did that. Okay, and it said I was the king of the road at the top of the back glass, but you didn't get to see it. Okay, so I still didn't... Let me write down a couple more things. I need to write down that the one drop target, second drop from top left switch. Okay, and then the we need more slope. More slope. And the saucer didn't eject. When the light wasn't on a distinct score. Okay. All right, so let's get the bonus up, and then well, that's not lit. Okay, so 9,000 points. This is ball 2. We're at 100,100 points. 101,900 points. We're at 101,900 points. We have 9,000 here, so we should end up at 110,900 points. And we did, and it went to ball 3. Okay. Okay, ball 4. Ball 5. So it should end the game after this. It said lights double bonus when lit, and when it landed in there, it did light double bonus down at the bottom. Okay. All right, it says game over, so it all worked out pretty good. Okay, so we got a list here. We'll work through the list, and then we'll try it again. I think we're going to be good. So first up, there were 2 light bulbs giving us trouble. So I've got it turned on, and I put it in a game. We haven't scored anything yet. One of them was this 2,000 light. So if we advance the bonus till that's supposed to be lit, that should be lit. It can only really be 2 things. It's either the light bulb socket, which is highly likely, or it's the actual, this is the bonus unit, it's the actual rivet on the bonus unit isn't clean enough. So what we're going to do is twist the light bulb socket. So it's this one. No amount of finagling will get it to come on, so that might not be it. So it may be the actual rivet here. That one or this one. Nope. You kind of just want to mess with it until you figure out. It could be like the wire, you know, or you figure out if there's a bad connection somewhere, or the wire's broke, or I mean, it could be the bulb, but we put new bulbs in it, so it should not be the bulb. Try a different bulb, maybe we'll get lucky. Bad bulb. It was a bad brand new bulb. I thought I had cleaned it properly. You know, I hate to blame it on the bulb manufacturer, but what can you do? It looks fine. Alright, bad bulb. Let me go get some more bulbs so we can check that top one. It's giving us all kinds of trouble up here, but that second 50 never lights. So basically we're going to do the same thing here. This bulb should be on right now. Oh yeah, it's loose. See how loose that is? So that's going to be the socket. Yeah. So I messed with it and got it to light. See if it tightens up enough whenever I turn it. Sometimes whenever you spin it, it tightens up. And that one did. We'll watch it, but it seems nice and strong right now. Okay. This is the thing, so that's this top hole unit. We worked on this earlier in one of the earlier videos. This is the thing that is giving us problems too. We still got some issues there for sure. Let's see. So there's a little wiper in there that moves around. Let me brighten it up so you can see it better. See the wiper down in there on this board? So when I touch this board, the light comes on and off. So that's not quite torqued good enough, I guess, or clean enough. This one over here is pretty solid. I don't think it's the wires. I think it's when the board moves. Yeah, because look, the wires are not moving there. It's just the board. It's just the contact. And the thing is with this, the light is just a light. So the rivet on this side makes the light light up. The one on that side is what actually is the switch mechanism that makes it score, right? So all this side is doing is making the light light up. But you do want the light to light up as it should, right? So what I'll do is we'll take this side off, and we're gonna bend those little wiper blades out a little bit so that they ride on the board a little bit better. So let me do that. Okay, that appears to be working pretty good, but it's still not perfect. So we're probably going to have to take that back apart. That 3000 light is worse now than it was. So you get your 50, your 5000, your 1000, your 50. The 3000 lights up most of the time, but sometimes it doesn't. And it's the same thing if I wiggle the board. So we still got a little bit of, that needs a little bit more work. So I'm going to leave that on the list. We'll come back to that. Okay. See, like there too. So the 5000 is still a little iffy. So that still needs work. We can't call that one done yet, people. Alright, and then over here, we had the problem with this second from the top drop target. when it goes down, it should hit this switch, and then it hits this switch on the bottom. I'm thinking this one's probably just a little dirty. If I hit it now, you saw how earlier when I hit it, it didn't score. I'm wondering if it's because there was something going on with the bottom switch. So if I hit the bottom switch, it now thinks it's all the way down. Now there must just be something adjusted in such a way that it doesn't, when it drops, it doesn't always hit it. So we're going to drop it by hand. See if it hits that switch on the way down. It didn't really. It didn't really. So all that needs to be adjusted in a little bit. We're going to do it live by hand, people. So it's going to make a bunch of noise. Don't worry about it. It's going to be just fine. Okay, so I quite literally just messed around with it a little bit. Okay, so let's do it again. Oh, it didn't stay up whenever I did that. Okay, that time it did. All right. That seems right. I think we're good. You know, an interesting thing though, every time you hit that, it scores. And when it goes back up, it hits it. And there's no way for it not to. But it doesn't score when they reset them back up. Why is that? Let's see if we can look that up on the schematics and figure it out. Not because we're fixing anything, but it'll just be interesting. Why is it that whenever the drop targets drop, you get a point, and when it goes back up, it hits the switch and you get a point? But it doesn't do that during gameplay. Like, see, it's down right now. If I reset it right now, it scored again because it hit the switch again, that one drop target, on the way up. So why doesn't it do that when you're playing and it does it automatically? Okay, folks, so we're deep in the schematics. And if you see this, see how it says 1D score motor? And then it says over here, this slash through the two lines. That means normally closed, and it's the score motor is drawn in the home position. So the score motor is sitting there, and you heard whenever I reset it that it goes tick, 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 tick. Or that was whenever it was scoring, actually. But that the score motor makes that happen, the score motor turning, right? But you see, this line is only connected when the score motor is in the home position. When it moves off of the home position, this disconnects and this connects. Okay, so this line goes to H24, which is right there. Okay, and goes through the left drop target score switches. That's the ones we were just hitting, and that's what makes the drop target relay come on. So if the score motor is sitting in home position, this is connected to these switches. If you hit the switch, it turns on the drop target relay. The drop target relay makes the score motor turn and gives you 50 points. Okay, so if I'm sitting there playing with it and I hit the switch, every time I hit it, it's going to pull in the drop target relay and give me 50 points. So why doesn't it do it when the drop targets reset? Why don't you get 50 points as they're resetting, like it does whenever I reset just one of them by hand? It's because here's the score motor, and here's all the things that can turn on the score motor. So like we were just saying, the drop target relay. So whenever I hit that switch, it turns on the drop target relay, which then turns on the score motor. Okay, and it does that so it can turn and impulse 5 times to the 10-point relay. All right. But the only way you can hit that switch and turn on the drop target relay is if the score motor is at home because of that other switch we were looking at. And the only way you get to 50 points is if the drop target relay comes in. When it resets, drop target reset relay pulls in, which starts the score motor, which eventually pulls up the coil to reset the switches. But the score motor is turned, so it's not at home position, which means whenever it hits the switch on the way by, it can't turn on the drop target relay because of that one little switch they put in there to make sure that it can only be you can only turn on the drop target relay if you're at the home position. So whenever it resets, just the act of the drop target reset relay coming on starts the score motor, so it's no longer in the home position. So when it goes by and hits those switches, this can't turn on because it's not in the home position. Simple as that. So we have fixed our 2,000 point light. We have fixed our top 50 rollover light, but the stepper is still not right, so we're going to leave that one. Okay. The second drop from the top, that left switch, we just fixed that. More slope we're going to do with the leg levelers. The saucer didn't eject when the light wasn't right. That's still part of this. So we're down to literally two things, which are probably misunderstandings. So when the drop targets are all down, it scores 6,000 points, question mark. And then the special when lit, we're not sure if that works. So let me see if I can figure out how those work. So here's the manual, and there are adjustment plugs in it. There's a drop target adjustment plug and a right and left lane adjustment plug. So a certain way you can have it set, if you set the drop target plug conservative and then you set the right and left lane adjustment plug conservative, you end up with the first time both targets banks down, all 10 targets, the extra ball light comes on, alternates back and forth, and it scores 6,000. This one, the second time either target bank is down, and each additional time scores special and scores 3,000. I think this is what ours is doing. The difference seems to be that whether or not the extra ball light stayed on constantly. All right. So how do they make it where you get 6,000 points the first time all 10 go down, and then you get 3,000 points after that? After that occurs, you get 3,000 points each time either side goes down. How in the world did they make that work with switches and relays and stuff? So here's the 1,000 point relay, and the way that you get points for it from the drop targets is over here. When the drop target reset relay pulls in, it closes this switch, which is what gives you the 1,000 points, right? But they can't just make you get 1,000 points by pulling that relay in. They have to make it pull in multiple times. So how do they do that? If the total sequence relay is off, then it's still in that position, which is connected through the conservative side, like we were just looking at on the drop target adjustment plug. If that plug is plugged in there and the total sequence relay is not on, right, then when 2F pulses, it connects through, this is closed, and you get 1,000 points every time 2F closes. So here are the score motor switches, and here is switch 2. So it starts at home position, which is 0, right? And so it turns and it pulses at 1, bam, 1,000 points. It pulses at 2, bam, 2,000 points. It pulses at 3, bam, 3,000 points. It pulses at 4, bam, 4,000 points. It pulses at 5, bam, 5,000 points. And then it turns 2 more, and then it gets to 0 and it stops because it stops at the home position. So what the hell? It only gave us 5,000 points. What's up with that? We were supposed to get 6,000. Well, remember, that was if the total sequence relay wasn't on, okay? Which it wasn't. So the score motor starts turning, and it, whenever we get the position, 3 or whatever on switch 2, it starts scoring points, and it will eventually score 5,000 points. if the total sequence relay doesn't come on. So what makes the total sequence relay come on? The drop target reset relay, the same one. Well, hell, it's already on, so why didn't the total sequence relay immediately come on? It's because it won't have power until this switch gets to 6 on the schematic. So that's how it is when it's at home. When it gets, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Switch 6 looks like that at home. Eventually it will connect over here. This will already be connected, and it will turn on the total sequence relay. So when does 6D close? Over to here. So here's 6. The switches on 6 close at position 4. Do you see this crap? So the total sequence relay is not on when it's at home because that switch hasn't moved over. It doesn't until the 4th position. That's the switch right there that will turn it on, right? So the score motor starts turning, and remember, since the total sequence relay is not on because it hasn't been turned on by this switch yet, we haven't got to it yet, this starts scoring. So bam, we get 1,000 points. Bam, we get 2,000 points. Bam, we get 3,000 points. Bam, we get 4,000 points, and the total sequence relay comes on. Right? So it comes on at the same time. Well, now what happens? Well, now this switch is over, so it's not over there anymore. So this 2 at position 6 is no longer connected. I guess maybe it would be connected for position 6 or whatever, but it switches over to here now because it turned on the total sequence relay. So now it's connecting through here instead of through here. Okay? And so now it's connecting to here, and look at this. There is a switch that closes at 6, which, if it closed, click through here, turns on the 1,000-point relay, right? And then it goes to 7, position 7, click, it closes through here to the 1,000-point relay. And then there's one at 8, click, it closes through here, 1,000-point relay. Okay, so you do whatever it is to make the drop target reset relay happen, right? So that at first is knock down all 10 drop targets. The drop target reset relay pulls in, and it starts the score motor turning off of its first position. Because the total sequence relay is not pulled in, a switch on 2, stack 2 is active. So bam, you get 1,000 points, bam, you get 1,000 points, bam, you get your third 1,000 points, and then you get the 4, right? And when you get the 4, this switch comes on, which is the total sequence relay comes on, which makes that switch no longer connected to turn on this set of switches. So you get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and then it turns it off. But there's another switch that it turns on 6, 4,000, on 7, 5,000, and on 8, 6,000. And then it rotates 2 more, the home switch opens, and everything turns off. So because of that total sequence relay, it switches it from this switch down to 6, 7, and 8. So you get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. Now, why in the world would they go through all that trouble? It's so you can adjust it. They did all of that crap just so you could change it. All right, so we turned on the total sequence relay, right? Well, once you do that, a switch on itself holds itself on through this switch, through this wire. So see how it says E23? It's telling you where to look on the schematics. And that is where it tells you to look. So it connects through the out-hole relay when it's normally closed. So when the out-hole relay is not on, the total sequence relay is connected to power and stays connected on through a switch on itself until the out-hole relay pulls in. So what does that mean? That means until you lose the ball, the total sequence relay stays connected. Right? So how did we turn on the total sequence relay? By resetting the drop targets. When the drop target reset relay came on, remember, and then we got to position 6 on the switch, it turned on the total sequence relay. And it's going to stay on until the ball lands in the out hole and the out hole relay comes on. So now that that is always on, this will never do anything. So that second switch won't do anything because it's no longer connected because that's open. So this is always on. So the next time that the drop target's reset, all you're going to get are 3,000 points. So what is it that makes the drop targets reset? How does that happen? Okay. This is the left drop target switches. So let's say you get all 5 of them. That connects power through all 5 of them. That's the switches on the bottom. Through the total sequence relay that originally isn't on, remember? So it's normally connected that way if the relay is not on in its home position, which is off. It connects, if you connect all 5 of the left drop target switches, it sends power from here through the switch on the total sequence relay, through the conservative connection, remember it's on conservative, through here, right? It's not on, so that's not going. And then back through all of the right drop target switches, right? And so since this is connected to conservative, this isn't connected to anything up here. So you have to get all 5 of these down to send power through this way, back up, and then down through all 5 of the right ones. So the only way to get power from here to here and turn on the drop target reset relay is to get all 10 of the drop targets down. So what happens if you get just the 5 right ones? Well, you're not connected to anything. All 5 of these are down, and it's not connected to power. The only way to get power is to get all 5 of them down. But as the score motor starts turning, this at the 6th position, or on the 6th switch at the 4th position, turns on this damn total sequence relay. Well, now everything's different. So now that connects over to here, and this holds in. Okay? So now since it's on, because you reset the targets once, now if you get all 5 of the right ones, right, it connects power through the total sequence relay and turns on the drop target reset relay. But since that's on, you only get 3,000 points. So you get all 5 of the right ones, it gives you 3,000 points, okay? Now if you connect all 5 of the left ones, the total sequence relay is over here, and so all 5 of the left ones will turn it on and give you 3,000 points. Freaking brilliant! All right, so let's look at it if you've got it set on liberal. So liberal means you don't have to work for the points. Okay, so if if it's connected over to liberal, everything's different, right? So let's say it's the drop target adjustment is set on liberal. Well, then that means that this is here all the time. So anytime you get 5 of the right ones, it gives you 3,000 points. Anytime you get 5 of the left ones, this connects around the total sequence thing, it gives you 3,000 points. And this is the one that actually the 1,000 point relay is over here. So if that is connected to liberal, you no longer have this one in play. So you can never possibly get 6,000 points. But the only way you could do that was because with this on conservative, you had to get all 10 targets down. So now that it's on liberal, that never comes into play. And every time the drop target reset relay comes in, you get all 3. Now the total sequence relay, see, you wouldn't get, this would never score you any points unless that is in. So that must still come in. I guess it comes in exactly the same. So whenever we'll look at that real quick. Yeah, see, it works just the same way that it did before. Basically, the drop target reset relay pulls it in, but only when this switch on 6 gets to position 4. So once it does that, you get you're just in time to get the score on switch 6, switch 7, and switch 8. It gives you the 3,000 points. So the total sequence relay will come on every time that the drop target reset relay comes on. It's just by setting it on liberal, you make it easier to make the drop target reset relay happen. But it also, at the same time, turns off the ability to score 6,000 points at one time, because it's going to reset as soon as you knock down the 5 left ones or the 5 right ones. Wow, what a cool design! Like, how in the hell did they think that up? That's nuts. That's crazy that they had the ability to think of that with just switches and everything circular on top of itself. And brilliant. So, drop targets all down, score 6,000. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's set right now. You can set it on liberal to make it a little easier if you want. It just depends on, you know, in your house, you might think that you want everything to be easy, but the thing is it gets harder to enjoy it if it's so easy to get a high score. You want to make it at your house kind of as hard as possible because it'll last longer, you know. So, I don't know. I guess you could think either way about it, but we're going to leave it how it's set. It's been like that a long time, people. All right, and then the special when lit, we need to check. I wanted to show you, too, that you can only get 15,000 bonus points. The best way to illustrate that is it just simply says it in the manual. Bonus score features. A bonus score of 1,000 to 15,000 points may be scored. The game starts with a bonus score of 1,000, which is what ours did. So why does it stop at 15,000? On the playfield, it looks like you could go up to 19,000 because you can light 10,000 and then there are 9 lights. But once it gets up to 10 and the 5,000, it stops and it won't go up to the 6,000. It's just how they built the bonus wheel. It just has 15 positions and they just left it like that. It's kind of a holdover. Different companies had different ones that did different amounts. But that's just how the Bally one was. It just went up to 15 and stopped. To go up to like 19, it would need 19 steps on it, and they just made it have 15 steps instead of 19. You know, they had to stop somewhere. And it's not unique to them. Like I said, the other companies had the same thing going on. I can't remember where the other one stopped, but it's just what it is. Okay, now we were trying to figure out about the special. I think it's because it's set to extra ball instead of a free game, and I already had an extra ball. So let's see if that's right. So to light the special, we need to get all the drop targets down like we were just talking about. All right. So now if I get all of them down, it will score the special, which should give me same player shoots again. Uh-oh, got another switch there we need to look at. And another one. But that one's good. That's the one we messed with. All right, so this should give us 3,000 and light that. There it is. So the special's working good. So we got a few switches still on that we need to mess with, and we still need to mess with that top hole. Oh, let's see if there was anything else. Here is the chime unit. The good old Bally chime unit. It plugs in here. There's 4 wires. One is like a ground or whatever, a common to the 3 coils. And then there's 1 wire for each coil. Okay. And whenever it grounds it, the solenoid makes this little plunger with a nylon tip come up and hit the bottom of the chime bar. So what happens is, like this, they have these little rubber grommets that hold it all in place. And what happens is the thing deteriorates, like these have. And then it gets slappy sounding. These two still sound pretty good. But this one is loose, so loose that it can just pop off. So when the little thing comes up and hits it, instead of getting your little peel that you like, it knocks the bar off because the little rubber grommets have deteriorated so much. You can buy those brand new, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to use some rings to do the same thing. I believe these ones are probably fine. You just don't want the metal to be able to touch any of the other metal because that dampens it and makes it not sound right. So if you look, see how that's off of the metal, and whenever it moves, see it can touch there. So that makes it work, and slap dampens it, makes it not sound quite right. And then this one you see is all the way down where it is touching. It's just not right, people. It's not right. Alright, so we're going to make our own little rings to hold it in place. Okay, folks, so we got it all about as clean as I could get it. I don't know what all that black stuff is. And we've got them where they're a little bit loose. Right? And this is kind of almost the size of the little plunger. So I think we're about ready to put it back in and let the game play it. Okay, folks, we're going to try it a little bit. Now keep in mind, this game has a wooden back door on it because the metal door was missing, so it muffles the chimes a little bit. Whoop. Seems like our top saucer is now working properly. Ooh, I saved it. Oh. Well, that time it may have not. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to have to watch the replay on that one. That's a nice shot. Whoop. Oh, I keep missing my spinners. It's got nice end lanes. It's cool to advance the bonus on that end lane like that. There's our spinner. Alright, folks, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it. Leave your comments down below. We'd like to thank everybody that's been using our Amazon links. If you don't know about that, there's a link down below to Amazon. If you click that before you go to Amazon, anything you buy on Amazon after you click that link, a car or whatever we link, I think in some countries it's just a link to the flag of the country. Anything you buy on Amazon, it gives us a tip, so we appreciate that. Everybody's been doing that. And last but not least, don't forget to check out my brother Donnie. If you like watching us work on these old pinball machines, you would probably enjoy watching my brother Donnie and I work on old buildings. There's a small town near here that we bought a couple buildings in downtown that we're fixing up to help revitalize the downtown area of that little town, and hilarity ensues. So go check that out if you haven't already. It's the My Brother Donnie channel down below. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.